All right, going to talk about South Carolina quarterback LaNorris Sellers. Talk about keys for success for Sellers against Clemson's defense this upcoming weekend, and we'll look at 6 or 7 clips that hopefully do a good job demonstrating the type of throws and type of plays Sellers is going to have to make in order to beat Clemson. So before we talk about Sellers, before we talk about these keys, if you've seen this channel before, y'all know we always briefly preview the defense. So let's take about 30, 60 seconds to talk about Clemson's defense, and then we'll dive into Sellers. So Clemson's defense, if I had to describe them like one sentence, they're a good defense who tends to give up some yards at times, but does a good job keeping offenses out of the end zone for the most part. They are third in the ACC in points given up per game, 22. But I think it's a bit inflated because they've given up some garbage touchdowns to NC State, App State at the beginning of the season. However, they are much better against the pass and the rush. They're fifth in the ACC in pass yards per game. They're bottom half in the ACC and rushing yards per game. So overall, it's a good defense. It's not one of those great Clemson defense that we have seen in the past. They have been exposed at times, but they do a good job keeping the offense out of the end zone. They give up some yards, and then they tend to get stout towards the goal line, right? So Clemson's defense, good defense, give up some yards, prevent teams from scoring. So if I'm LaNorris Sellers, what are the keys to success against a defense like that? Well, if I wanted to keep it super simple and end the video after this, I would say just repeat the same script you did against Mizzou, right? But that's obviously no one would watch that if that was the case. So let's talk. I got about 3 keys I want to talk about Sellers, and we'll show some film here in a second. Key number 1, I try not to be cliche when we do these breakdowns. I try to give a little insight. So it's a little cliche, but I think there's a reason why. Key number 1, use your legs. They haven't faced a quarterback as athletic as LaNorris Sellers. Now, you can compare Kyron Drones from Va Tech, but he did get injured that game, I believe, and Drones isn't the same threat throwing the ball that Sellers is. They have not faced a quarterback that can hurt them on the ground like they're about to face here, especially against this defense. I want to emphasize it. I want some design quarterback runs. And then, of course, he always seems to have a crazy play where he's about to get sacked, breaks the tackle, rolls out, and throws a good ball. So also seeing some design rollouts, but then seeing some plays where you go off script. Key number 2. This may be my key number 2 and 3 are probably the most important ones from the passing side of things. I want a combo of play action and dropping straight back, so normal straight drop backs. Play action, he's been excellent. He's very comfortable in play action. 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions off of play action. His yards per attempt are higher off play action than dropping straight back at 9.1. But only 25% of his dropbacks have been off play action. So especially with the running game getting going as it has the last 6-7 games of the season, I would like to see a bit more play action from LaNorris Sellers. But at the same time, with that said, he's really taken the next step as a quarterback, in my opinion, of not relying on play action, on reading the defense and dropping straight back without play action. Against Vandy, on those type of throws where he threw without play action, he was 10 of 12 for $166 and 2 touchdowns. Against Mizzou, he was 12 of 21 for 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick. So the past few games, he's really taken that next step of just dropping straight back and reading the defense. Key number 3, and this kind of goes hand in hand with the second key, I expect Clemson to try to confuse Sellers from pre-snap to post-snap. Now, we've seen some teams try to blitz Sellers, and they've gotten burned. Like A&M stands out to mind, like right off the bat, right? Like that may have been the most times A&M has blitzed a quarterback this season, and they got burned. So I expect Clemson to kind of learn from that. I expect them to show one thing pre-snap, do something else post-snap. And if I had to guess, now, of course, I could be totally wrong, just some guy on YouTube talking, I would guess they want to drop 7 to coverage more than not. Against the blitz, Sellers is, where are the numbers? Yeah, Sellers has 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 10.6 yards per attempt. Those are excellent numbers. He's been blitzed 37% of his dropbacks. Whenever teams drop 7 or more, he's not as efficient. 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 7.2 yards per attempt. Some quarterbacks are better versus blitz. Some quarterbacks are better when defenses drop 7 or 8. So I would expect them, they obviously know this information. I expect them to try to show one thing pre-snap, drop 7 guys post-snap, try to confuse. So just be good against the defense and dropping 7 or 8 guys. So just to kind of recap Sellers, use your legs, right? That's obvious, but in a more specific manner, like we talked about. Number 2, combo of play action and straight drop back passes. Be successful on both. Try to confuse the defense. And key number 3, expect the defense to try to confuse you. So you want to be able to play well and to read the defense. They're dropping 7 or 8 defenders. So with that said, I know I talked a little bit long in the beginning of the video, but let's go ahead. We've got like 6 or 7 clips of Sellers that we're going to look at that do hopefully a good job demonstrating the type of throws and plays he's going to have to make to beat Clemson. So we got 7 clips that we'll watch of Sellers, and Gamecock fans, y'all know this is broadcast footage. I do apologize. I have to slow it down, but I think it does a good enough job getting the point across. So the main key, we talked about using your legs, and that first starts with quarterback design runs, in my opinion. I want the defense, I want Clemson. They've heard how athletic he is. They have been talked about. They've seen the film. They know he's a good athlete. Again, I think he's the best athlete at quarterback that they face. He may be the best quarterback overall that they face, depending on what you think about Carson Beck and Tyler Shuck from Louisville. But I want the defense to see Sellers early. I want them to be like, damn, this guy's even faster than we thought. This guy's even more athletic than we thought. So I want to start that with some quarterback design runs. I want that to be in their head early, that he can hurt you and he can hurt you big using his legs. So on top of quarterback design runs, also what makes Sellers so special, excuse me, is his ability to go off script, his ability to avoid pressure, to avoid sacks, and go off script and make a big gain on the ground with his legs. So here's an example of him avoiding sacks, making guys miss, and turning a potential negative play into a positive play because of his legs. Damn, I need some water or something. I apologize, my voice is getting hoarse. Excuse me. So first keys, right? Quarterback design runs, going off script, and then this next clip we're going to watch is his ability to avoid and evade pressure in the pocket and having a big play. So this is against Texas A&M. I've used these type of clips before. I just call them, like, when I save them in my file, I call them like beast mode clips. Essentially, he did against Mizzou and against Vandy. So this may be this type of play. There's like 2 plays better than this play that he's able to break pressure, which is pretty impressive and crazy because this is a hell of a play by Sellers. But let's go ahead and use this clip. A&M blitzes here. Free guy is able to spin out of it and then break the tackle. Able to break the tackle and throw a big play. This was the first completion against Texas A&M a few weeks back, right? So goal, key number 1, utilize your legs, some design runs, but then also going off script and doing what you do so well. Again, I want to do the quarterback design runs because I want Clemson to see early like how damn athletic you are. I really do. Okay. Let's go on to the next keys, and that's a combination of play action and a combination of straight dropbacks. We talked about how good as of late he's been on straight dropbacks. His straight dropback pass, one of my favorite throws he's thrown all season, I think, to the tight end Simon. He was 10 of 12 this game on these type of passes for like $166 and 2 tutties on straight dropback passes. So what I like about this play so much, and this shows, I think, some true development, is he has to put some touch on the ball to get over this backer here, but also has to put enough juice on it so the safety up top can't get over in time and make a pick, right? That's a really tough throw to make for a quarterback. So not using play action and having a really nice ball there. And I know I just said this may be my favorite throw. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. Okay, so we talked about not using play action, but also using a combination of play action. I think it's so potentially deadly against the defense because of your running game and because of Sellers' ability to run. Notice how it gets the defense all out of position. You have, 7, 8 guys all within 2 yards line of scrimmage chasing Sellers, and then you have a wide open tight end Simon, who, if there's a better tight end in the SEC than Simon, I don't know who. Like, there's some good tight ends. I think Helm is really good for Texas. I don't know who's better than Joshua Simon. Here's a deep ball to Nick Harbor. Another example of not using play action. I know I just said the play two plays before was my favorite throw from Sellers. Maybe this is actually my favorite throw. Deep ball, no play action, dropping straight back, 3rd and 5. The defense knows you're going to throw the rock, and he throws an accurate throw downfield. At the end of the season, we'll do like a recap video, and we'll just go through all the best throws from LaNorris Sellers, do a full season breakdown, talk about improvements, what we want to see next year, and just kind of do a whole showcase of that. But back to the video. Good example, pushing the ball downfield, not using play action here. I think we got maybe one more clip that we'll watch. Another example, not using play action. So just because he's been better off play action, essentially, he's improved so much not having to use it. And I know I talked about at the beginning of the video, I would like to see more play action. I think that can lead to some big plays, get guys out of position. But the past few games, he's shown the ability to not have to use it, and he's also shown the ability to throw against 7 or 8 guys. So we can see here, Vandy only brings 4, and we talked about how much better he's been against the blitz. His yards per attempt are almost 3 yards more, which is a huge. It doesn't sound like much, but it really is a big difference. But with that said, he still has the ability to drop straight back and let it rip, and I think we've seen that over time. So I think to wrap up the video, let's watch the video. Let's watch the clips from here. He'll have to utilize his legs in several different ways, a combination of relying on play action and straight drop backs, and then having success when the defense drops 7 and try to confuse you from pre-snap to post-snap. But Gamecock fans, as always, I want to hear from you. What do you want to see from LaNorris Sellers? What do you think the keys are for success against Clemson's defense? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And then this is obviously a QB channel, so we talk all things quarterback. So this is the quarterback perspective, but feel free to let us know like what you want to see from defense, special teams, running game, the full kind of effort to beat Clemson. As always, we're a big SEC quarterback hub, so please consider subscribing, like the video, share, all that stuff. If you do like it, it helps us grow, and we'll keep putting out these Sellers videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.